It's time. Okay, we'll start then. So Virasana or Hero's Pose. I'm going to use my two blankets, one on the bottom for the shins and the tops of the feet, and then one on top of that one for the two sits bones. And I want to come to the very top edge of the blanket, bring my knees together, do a big internal rotation of my legs, press down through the shins, down through the tops of the feet, and then bring the bottom down and place the two sitting bones right at the very, very edge of that blanket. So don't bring your blanket underneath the backs of your upper legs. See, the backs of your upper legs are free of any prop. The only prop that's there is the prop that's right underneath your two sits bones. And then look back at your toes and see that they point straight behind you. So your 10 toes go behind you rather than curling in or moving out. Sometimes we do kind of almost a pigeon toe rotation. So make sure that your 10 toes face behind you. And then take your hands, take the heel of your hands, turn your fingers towards your toes, and take the heel of your hands to the heels of your feet. Your elbows will bend. Bend your elbows, roll your shoulders back and down, lift your breastbone. Keep your sacrum moving towards your blanket as well as your tailbone. Move your abdominal wall slightly back away from the t-shirt, as well as the lower abdominal wall pulls away from the clothing as well. And then see if you can lift up under the front rib cage. Focus your gaze in front of you on the mat or on the floor. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Next exhalation, close your eyes. Center yourselves here using your breath. As you inhale your breath, move your inhalation out into your outer rib cage, your back rib cage. Empty your lungs completely with your exhalation. I'll chant Om, join in, or you're welcome to just listen. Oh. Exhale your breath, bow your head, bring your chin to the groove of your neck. Keep your collarbone open. Continue to lift your breastbone towards your chin. Bring your hands to the very tops of your legs. Center your head, and as you exhale your breath, slowly open the eyes and release the hands. Let's start by coming forward in Virasana. So what I'm going to do, instead of using a block to the hands, I'm going to use a block for the forehead. So I'll bring one block, and I need more than one today, out in front, maybe like this. And then I'll keep pressing through the shins, through the very tops of the feet. Really draw the sacrum and the tailbone down. Walk the arms out, even spider walking through the fingers. Tuck the chin towards the groove of the neck and bring the head down. Once I get my forehead grounded, I can then slightly relax the arms and the elbows, tuck the chin or let the chin move through the groove to the groove of the neck. Bring the sacrum and the tailbone down. And as you warm up, you may be able to lower your head block. Use your leg bones. There's an internal rotation of your legs. You're bringing your femur bones down as well as your shin bones. Relax the belly here for a moment. Bend the elbows here and walk your arms and hands back towards you and come seated. Very good, guys. And I'm going to move my blocks over to the side and come seated with the legs extended out in front. So I'll lean over one side to the other, and I'm going to take the hand to the front of the ankle and bring that foot to the mat. Now I want to bring the foot down. I want to press the foot, open up the knee using the hands, and then extend the knee, one knee at a time. And then do that same thing on the opposite side. If you need to use your block for your hand, but you lean over, you take the hand to the shin, You'll bring the foot up to the mat, press down through the foot, and then extend the knee. So as you're extending the knee, keep the heel connected to the mat. Very good, guys. Very good. And you can come either stay at the edge of your blanket there, or you can come seated in front of your blanket. I'm going to take my block and I'm on the mat, but again, you can stay on the edge of that blanket. And guys, really straighten your knees. Do an internal rotation of your legs. Extend from your inner groin to your inner feet. Do a floint. So press out through the base of your big toe joints. Really straighten the knees and also bring the knees down, so that there's no space underneath the backs of your knees, between the backs of your knees and your mat. That doesn't mean hyperextend. So if you have a tendency to hyperextend, you can bring a prop underneath the knees. But sit very tall. Take one block behind you, and I'm going to take it right to the sacrum. I'm going to pull the block in so that it's against the sacrum. Bend the elbows. Take the tips of the elbows behind me. Engage the legs, and then lift a little bit deeper. Perfect. Keep lifting. Let's see. Release the hands. Keep the block there, though. And I'll take the arms up, and as I exhale the breath, I'm going to twist to the right. And I'll bring the left hand down outside of the right leg, right fingertips behind you, right elbow bent. Lift, twist to the right. Keep the feet very even. And then exhale, bring your gaze back to the center, release. Perfect. And go opposite. So your block is still at your sacrum, just kind of giving you that idea of sacrum in and up. So instead of the torso being behind, you're going to move the torso up right over the legs. Take the arms out, bring the arms up, exhale the breath, twist to the left, right arm outside of the left leg, left fingertips behind you to the mat or to the blanket or the block, lift, twist to the left. Tuck the outer left rib cage in towards the outer right rib cage and twist a little bit deeper. And then exhale, release, twist back to the center. You can grab your straps if you need them for Paschimottanasana. But again, rotate the flesh from the outer to the inner, so outer thigh to the inner groin. Take the strap in the hands, lift the side rib cage, move forward, bring the strap to the feet. Press into the strap, inhale, lift up, lift the side ribs. We're not going to fold yet, but really lift your torso out of your waist, but strongly bring your sacrum and your tailbone down. And then exhale, release. And I've got to go really slow, so that's why we're moving so slow. So what I did, and my back is pretty tense today, but listen, lift up through your side ribs, move your breastbone towards your chin as you come forward, and then keep that length to bring the strap to the feet. So what I'm saying don't do is this. You see, that's not worth it. So stay very tall, even if you kind of have to fling the strap to the feet. And then we'll inhale and look up once you get your strap or your hands to your outer feet. And then exhale your breath this time and bend your elbows out, not just your elbows. Take your inner knees out. Take your inner thighs out, your inner ankle bones out. Really connect the hands to the strap. Draw the strap into the feet. Press the feet into the strap. Keep your sacrum moving towards your mat. Fold. You can tuck your chin towards the groove of the neck and bring the forehead towards the knees, or bring the forehead towards the shins. Good. But lift your spine. Everyone lift straight up. Bring the spine in, and then see if you can move the top of your head towards the top of your feet. Great. And then inhale up and exhale, release. Perfect. Perfect. Go ahead here, guys, and let's see. Let's take our blocks and our props to the side for a moment. So your blocks and your blankets can go to the side. And let's take one blanket and do a blanket roll with it. I'm going to leave mine folded in a square, but you guys can turn yours into a roll. And maybe I'll just make a roll too. So not if your back is very tight and you know that when you lie or you recline over the blanket, that the tops of your shoulders or backs of your arms lift up, make your roll smaller. So it does not have to be the entire blanket rolled up into one roll, okay? So for me today, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller and then bring the blanket on the mat, sit in front of the blanket roll, make it a roll, Dan, a roll. And you can leave part of that out again if you're not rolling the entire blanket up. But make it, if you can fold it so that it's long, right? And then sit in front of the blanket roll with the knees bent and the feet against the mat. Now you can treat your feet and your legs as if they're one, so not two separate legs or two separate feet or hips. So there's this compacting of the hips. And then you'll grip your mat with your hands, lift your bottom, tuck your sacrum, tailbone. Now bring your sacrum to the mat or to the blanket and then begin to recline over the blanket roll. Go very slowly, guys, because what I want you to do is make sure that the backs of your upper arms are grounded. You may have to walk your feet in, lift your bottom, and then continue that roll over the blanket. Now, a must is that the backs of your upper arms are grounded. They are not lifted away from your yoga mat. If that's still too much, you can bring a blanket underneath your bottom as well to give a little more height and also a little more length into the low back. The palms of your hands are up. Take your arms out really, really wide. And for now, keep your knees bent. They don't have to be fully bent. You can walk your feet a little forward towards the top of your mat and get a lot of length again in the lower back. The breastbone lifts towards the chin. The outer hips are moving towards the feet. The knees are together, guys, strongly together. So are the inner feet. And again, pretend that your legs are tied together. Do you see? So that you can use your legs as one. Palms up. Only if you have your backs of your upper arms grounded can you let your knees at the very same time move side to side. Dan, can you bring your inner feet together? Yeah. Only if you can keep the Valentine, she's so cute. If you can keep your knees where they're almost the inner knees glued together and this firm internal rotation of your legs. Now your anchor here is really the backs of your upper arms. That's your anchor. You can also focus on the breastbone remaining lined up to the ceiling so that when your knees go to the right, the left side of your body doesn't lift up, right? Don't let them go all the way over yet because the blanket's still pretty high up the back. But definitely, guys, have this external rotation of your upper arms. So your upper arms are rotating out. They're going back and down towards your mat. Think of this. You can, as your arms are extended out, press down through the backs of your hands. So as your knees go to the right, press down through the back of the left hand. Yeah. Tops of your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your knees to the center. You can do one of two things. You can lift your bottom up, take your hands to your blanket and roll your blanket down your back a little bit deeper, or lift your bottom and roll over your blanket roll a little bit deeper. So either way, bring the roll lower down the back. Have control, guys. So again, you want to really stabilize the hips so that you're stabilized and also engaging the core so that the lower back is stable. Once you get your blanket here, even lower, again, knees together, feet together, inner legs, inner feet are together. Outer hips are tucked in again. Pretend that you've tied your legs with a strap. So your knees here can still move side to side gently. Yeah. Now check the breastbone. See if you can keep your breastbone lined up towards the ceiling. Yeah. It's the outer part of the body, the knees moving to the right, that outer left side, back of the left arm keeps you grounded so that this becomes a churning of the abdominals. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the exact Iyengar word that they use. Churning, yeah, of your abdominals. So you're twisting, but with a long open spine. And then everyone bring your knees back to the center. And now I'm thinking that your blanket, roll over your blanket deeper, or again, lift up and pull your blanket lower. Now, if you're drawing your blanket down with your hands, notice that it's adjusting the clothing, it's adjusting the skin, the flesh. It's also adjusting and directing the bones and the muscles, right? So the skin on the back of your body, from the back of your head down to the heels of your feet, is strongly moving down towards the heels of your feet. So again, that includes the tops of your shoulders. Imagine them being drawn down away from your earlobes. And then if you need to, you can lift your bottom and make sure to adjust your lower back, where you're really stretching out your sacrum and using your sacrum as grounding to move your knees and move your legs, but as one. This time the blanket should be a little bit lower, maybe right around the waist or the lumbar spine, right? So this time, as your knees go over to the right, see if you can let them come all the way over to the mat or to the floor. And then you look opposite of your knees, and that right side body rotates down. Your gaze goes over to the same side, to the opposite side of your knees. So they rest there. And as they rest there without lifting up the backs of your arms, rotate your navel and your outer side rib down towards your blanket. Right. And then bring the knees up again. Make this effort to use them as your legs and your hips as one. So try to get them to move at the same time, not separately. So again, maybe let the knees go all the way over, rest on the mat, and then work through that opposite side, really pressing into your blanket. You can think about that side opposite of your knees, really moving down towards your mat. Very good. And guys, go ahead and bring your knees back to the center. And if that wasn't even for you, if you didn't move your knees side to side evenly, do so. But if you did, go ahead and take your hands again to your blanket roll. Your knees are centered, your legs are centered. Now here we're going to bring this blanket roll to our sacrum. So what you'll need to do is lift up, and you can push the blanket down as you draw your torso and your head back. Right. So I was going to do it, but now I'm not. I will. So like this. So as you move the blanket down, you'll come right on top of the blanket at the sacrum, at your sacrum. So it is above the plumber's cleavage. And then really get rest here. Again, hold your blanket in place and then draw your torso back. See if you can separate your torso from your waist or from the lower part of your body. So in other words, from your waist down is moving towards your heels, backside. And then your side rib cage stretch up towards your armpit. Go ahead and you can bring your knees in, your feet in closer, lift up or push your blanket down so it is below the lower buttock, upper hamstring. And then here, very, very slowly, with intention, with awareness, straighten the knees. I want you to keep the heel connected to the mat. As you push through the heel, straighten the knee. Do that one knee at a time. And then see if you can maintain that grounding of your spine to your mat. So the catch to that, guys, if you think about that whole grounding idea, that would mean that the bones in your body would need to come back towards your mat. So your leg bones, your abdominals, the backs of your upper arms. Rest here for a moment again. You should feel the shoulder blades are moving away from one another. And then go ahead and you can bend the knees one at a time. And with lots and lots of awareness here, keeping your sacrum very long and very grounded, and the back rib cage pressing into the mat, the abdominal wall moving down. So your outer hips are very, very long. They're moving towards your feet. Keep that. Drag your heel towards your sitting bones, and then lift one knee up at a time to the chest, and then grab the upper shin. But again, use that heel bone to bring the knees up, and don't lift your bottom. The whole point is to keep that long lower back, long sacrum that we've just created. So the sacrum is moving in, your hips are moving away from you. So if you've got your knees, your shins, interlace your fingers around. Then I want you to draw your shin bone strongly into your hands, moving your femur bones and your shin bones towards your hands. See if we lift the head and kind of curl the head towards the knees. But again, don't rock your bottom up. And then exhale, lower the head and the shoulders, and let's roll over to the right and bring ourselves up. So again, over to the right slowly, and you can use the hands to bring you up to seated. Perfect. And then next, I'm going to do Adho Mukha Virasana, and I'm going to use a blanket for the forehead. So maybe you need more than one. You can use that same one that we rolled up, just fold it in the enchilada Tootsie Roll fold. You may need more than that though. So if your bottom has to come up in order for you to get your forehead grounded, then double that like this. You don't want it so high that the back of your neck is compressed. So we want to open up the cervical spine. So, and actually, let's see. I think I'll do it two ways. So I'm going to start with the blanket pretty high up, kind of like right inside of the inner knees, right in front of me. I'm on the heels of the feet. My two sitting bones are right over the heels. The knees are about hip distance apart. And again, if you have two blankets will work better for this one, right? So then I'm going to come forward and I'm going to keep the bottom, keep the tailbone down, and I'm going to bring the belly, the abdominal to the blanket. And the forehead also is here. I'm going to tuck the chin and bring the forehead down, and then I'll rest the elbows. Okay. So this requires height, but listen, guys, you're trying to get, you're trying to be able to not only ground your forehead, but ground your abdominals. So it may take more than one blanket or a couple of blankets or a couple of pillows or anything that you can find so that you're able to ground your chest, ground your abdominal area, keep your tailbone and your sacrum down, tuck your chin. Bring your forehead down, and again, you don't want to suffocate. Don't suffocate yourselves, okay? So you want to be able to breathe, right? And then once you get those arms out and you get that length and even the length in the back of your neck, then with an exhalation, bend your elbows. Not only let your elbows rest, but soften the abdominals. And the whole point of this is to open up the low back. So what I want you guys to do is really let your abdominal area relax, but keep your tailbone and your sacrum rolling down. Dan, you could use a bolster if you want. Yeah. Yeah, your elbows can bend and rest, your eyes can close, your chin is moving towards the groove of your neck. Yeah. And then see if you can allow heaviness here. There is weight at the posterior pelvis. There's weight in the bottom. If you can't breathe or whatever reason the blanket thing isn't working out, you can always turn your head to one side or the other. You can always turn your head to one side or the other. But with an exhalation, let go, especially at the arms. Few more moments here. So not only should the abdominals relax, but so should the muscles in the face. The brain should also become a little more quiet. The chatter should become a little more quiet. And then go ahead and you can bring yourselves up very slowly. You can keep the elbows bent and just kind of walk the elbows, the hands in and lift the torso up. And I'm going to do one more. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to bring these blankets out a little bit further in front of me. This one may take less blankets. And then this time I'm going to walk the arms out and I'm going to tuck the chin and just bring the forehead down. So now the belly is not against my blankets or my prop, right? So the only thing that's on the blankets this time is the forehead where the chin tucks towards the groove of the neck. And I am going to use my hands, active arms and hands, to press my weight back. You also want to concave the upper back. So now your blankets go out in front of you so that when you come forward, your abdominal area is kind of just floating. The forehead is grounded, the chin is tucked. And if you don't feel length in the back of your neck, lower your head prop some. So if you feel like the back of your neck is compressed, then you'll want to bring less height underneath your forehead. But here, again, keep the elbows lifted, keep the wrist lifted, and keep the arms active and the hands pressing. Your hands kind of push your mat forward, and then you draw your hips back. Yes. And then you guys can exhale, release, and come up. We'll take a dog pose with that same thing with the head prop. So if you need a block, if a block is just fine, and for me, one block is just fine. If those blankets are just fine, do that. Or if you want to even add to that. So I'm going to come over the blanket, and I need a lot of height for my back today. And I'm going to come bring the knees up and keep the knees bent for a moment. As I come up, I'll let the forehead come down here. So if I need to keep the knees bent, I can, or I can very slowly just straighten as much as I can. but your forehead is what is against your prop once more. To come into this, bring your prop right underneath your breastbone when you come to your hands and your knees, and you can keep your knees bent and bring your chin towards the groove of the neck. Here's another place where we're going to be able to relax the abdominals. But straighten, 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 straighten the knees. The knees must be straight. Keep drawing the abdominal wall back towards your spine. And again, think about pulling the flesh away from the t-shirt and away from the shorts. So the flesh of the abdominals, especially the lower abdominals, very gently draw back. Gently, not forcefully. And then breathe deeply. You guys can walk your legs back. So if you notice, if you walk your legs back a little bit, it's like your forehead will come a little bit lower, yeah? Engage your legs, move your femur bones back, lift your kneecaps, lift your quadriceps. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Exhale your breath, come down to kneeling. Perfect. And we'll move our props out to the side here, and we'll take another dog pose. And I'm going to take the legs really wide for this one. So what I'm going to do is move my blankets, and I'm going to use the outer edge of my mat. And my mat is wider than you guys, but you know, take your outer feet to the very outer edge of your blanket. And I want the outer feet, which is the pinky sides of your feet, to really line up with the outer edge of your mat. Now, as you push to straighten your knees, bring your feet down, especially your outer feet down to the outer edge of your mat, just like this. So your arms can be normally where they are, but we're going to take the legs much wider. And, you know, according to the Iyengars, that gives you an easier rotation of your legs. It's easier to adjust and move the bone and engage the muscles the further apart your legs are. So when you're coming up, line your outer feet up with the outer edge of your yoga mat. Your hands and arms can stay centered like they normally do, but take the outer feet and then have no sign of your yoga mat from your outer feet. So if I were there, only if I were there, just kidding. If I were there, I would walk by and make sure that I cannot see any part of your yoga mat as a part of your outer feet. Yes. But what I want you guys to do is, if you see that you can see the color of your mat on your outer feet, I want you to take your inner thighs out. Take your inner feet out. You don't lift them up. You just energetically widen your feet so that your outer feet close. So one more time, inner ankle bones out towards the outer ankle bones. Good. Don't bring your head in line with your upper arms, and then open up your spine. Perfect. And then release. Come down and rest any way that you would like to. Perfect. Perfect. You can rest in child's pose or just kneeling, or however you want to do that. And okay, guys, go ahead and we'll come up and we're going to do, and you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to use a strap at my upper legs, and I'm going to use 2 blocks. Back in the old days before the back thing, I could use 1 block, but today I'm going to use 2 blocks and a strap. So when you come standing, have 2 blocks and a strap, and a chair is also possible. When you stand in forward fold, you can't put your head on your blocks. If you have a chair, you could put the chair in front of you and put your top of your head on your chair. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring 2 blocks down in front of me, and they're really, really close to my big toes, right? Kind of in between the big toes. And then I'll bring the strap in a loop, and I'll step into the strap, and I'm going to bring this strap really snug, but to my upper leg, like this. It's really to the outer hip. So that greater trochanter hip bone. And I think I discovered yesterday that this belt helps. Yeah, it feels good too. And but it's snug. Now listen, your feet are, you're not like this. Go ahead and have it snug, but take your feet, and your feet are apart at least hip distance, and really firm the belt up so that you can feel the belt tucking your legs in, your outer legs. And then I'm going to bend my knees and let my hands come down around my blocks. I moved them out in front of my big toes a little bit. Bend the knees, tuck the outer hips in, internal rotation. Let the very top of my head come down to my block. Now, if I can go deeper, I'll very slowly straighten my knees. So if you can go any deeper, if you can't go deep, keep your knees bent. If you don't need 2 blocks, use 1, but bring your block in pretty close to your feet, pretty close to your feet, your blocks. Yeah. And then you really let your your head become very heavy. There you go, Kelly. That's perfect. Keep that. Except, Kelly, line your 10 toes up towards your sofa and then walk your legs closer. There you go. There you go. Now rock forward or lean. That's perfecto. That's perfecto. Guys, make sure that your 10 toes are forward and your blocks can be kind of lined up in front of your big toes or between your big toes. And then check your sits bones. You want to bring your sitting bones right over your heels. Press out into that strap from your inner thighs. Press out like you're going to break the strap. Now, with your outer thighs, try to tuck your outer legs and your outer hips away from your strap. Try to tuck in away from your strap. One more time, inner thighs out, break the strap. Outer legs in, loosen the strap. Can you loosen the strap without moving your legs? Inner thighs, one more time, break the grip, break the loop. Now with your outer legs, loosen the strap. Take that from the hips to the feet. Now, using your strap, take your inner legs out. Break the grip of your strap. As you do that, spread your sitting bones. Now, move your sits bones over towards your low back. You may have to lower your blocks. Good. Be very, very heavy in your center heel bones. Can you guys energetically drag your heels backwards, energetically? And then can you reach your 2 big toes out towards the top of your mat? Wonderful. Wonderful. And then I want you guys to grip around your blocks. Bend your knees. Look down at your mat or your block. Bend your knees. Keep engaging your strap here as you press your inner thighs out. Take your inner thighs out. Draw your heels out. Keep your knees slightly bent, hands to the hips, and you draw the sacrum and you draw the posterior pelvis down as you stand. Good. Very, very good, guys. And then let's go ahead and let's step out of our straps. Now, I know, oh, well, y'all weren't. Oh, yeah, y'all weren't straps. I probably should keep mine, but you guys can step out and let's move our blocks over to the side. And I am going to keep my strap, but I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit lower and see what I can do from there. So the first thing that I'm going to do with the strap on the middle of my thighs, we'll see how this goes, is Tadasana. So I've got the feet together, and I'm going to bring the sacrum down. So my hands are at the back of the waist, and I'm going to press in, draw down, fingertips move down. As I do that, I want to lift the chest. Bring the belly back. So you're not here, but here and here. And then I'm going to go up with the arms, okay? So once you get your straps there, if you're going to use it, you don't necessarily have to. Really make it snug. Bring your feet together. Take your hands back of your waist. So look, heel of my hands are here at the top of the buttocks. Draw down and use a little bit of weight, the heel of your hands to do that. Good. Now bring your abdominal wall back. Make sure your legs are together. Take your inner legs out. Try to break the grip of your strap. Inhale, take your arms out, take your arms up. Now, as you bring your arms up, really draw the abdominal wall back. Can you bring your navel under your front rib cage? Bring your belly under your front rib cage. Your arms are about inner shoulder width apart. Now, let your shoulder blades go up. Bring your bottom down, guys. Bring your bottom down. You want to draw and then take the lower abdominal wall away from the shorts, and then see if you can pull the lower belly up underneath the front rib cage. Stronger on your feet, and then exhale, release. Perfect. I'm going to go here and here, and this time I turn the palms of the hands behind me to really get the arms up. As I do that, I'm going to start to bend my knees, sacrum, tailbone down. Watch the outer knees, outer hips back. Sink here, and then get the torso up high, and then stand. Oh, that felt good. I don't know how or why, but it did. Okay, so first take the arms up, pull the belly button back and the sacrum tailbone down. Bring your feet together. Now begin to bend your knees. The palms of your hands are going behind you. Bend your knees here and take the backs of your legs parallel to the mat. Stretch the arms up. Good. Now reach up higher with your arms. See if you can lift the side ribs, sacrum, tailbone down, abdominals back, guys, abdominals back, and then stand. Perfect. Stand straight. Perfect. Now your heels are not supposed to come up, so I'm going to do it again. And what I'm going to do this time is find my strap end. I'm going to bring my bottom against the wall, feet together. My legs are still tied. And then as I bend my knees, I'm going to really slide the butt. So tuck and slide down. Now, these outer hips and outer knees press back. I'm going to go up, and then I'll lean forward, and I keep the sacrum there. Use the wall to press up, but use the wall because the wall is stabilizing at the sacrum. So, well, Kelly, you don't have to use the wall. If you don't have a wall, don't use one. Have an invisible wall. Yeah. Now bring your feet together, and they are out in front of you further. A big slant. That's it. A little further, Dan. And then go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. Make sure your sacrum's against the wall, shoulders against the wall. Bend your knees 90 degrees. That's like a wall sit. There you go. Don't go too far, guys. Now press your outer knees and your outer hips back. Bring your belly button back, shoulders down. Take your arms up so you can bring the thumb sides of your hands to the wall. Now, keep your sacrum there. Draw your tailbone down. Draw your sacrum down, and then shift forward. Lean your torso forward. Torso only. Press back into the wall with your sacrum. Good. Release fingertips to the wall. Stand. And that's it. That's it for that. I've got a request for 5 more. Just kidding. So go ahead and let's take our straps off. Yesterday, we worked on Virabhadrasana 3. Let's see if we could get Ardha Chandrasana today. Okay. And I don't have us using a mat with this, but just kind of seeing if we can really focus on weight from here to the foot. So I'm side of the mat, and this is my sore side, so we'll see what happens. And then I separate the legs here, guys. Just watch me for a moment. You bring the leg bones back, sacrum tailbone still does the same work like that. Ugh. Yeah. Interior and the front of the pelvis goes up and the back of the pelvis goes down. So I'm going to separate. And I think I'll use, well, I don't know what theory I'll use. I'll turn my right toes to the right, left heel to the left, take the arm up, lean back, bend the right knee, and I'm going to drag the left big toe to the right heel and fold. Now, when I come down, I want the block out to the right, underneath the right hand, and try to square the hips forward. And I want also to move the weight back towards the right heel here. So don't worry so much about the top arm, but let's kind of focus on our entrance into Ardha Chandrasana. So you can hold your block, separate your feet, turn your left heel out to the left, right toes to the right arm, right hand holds the block, lean up and lean back. Now bend your right knee well, and as you bend your right knee, drag your left big toe right up to your heel. Drag your toe. Drag your left big toe towards your right heel, then lift your leg. Good, good. Push down under your block, lift a little bit higher, Diana. Point your toes. Lisa, that's perfect, Grace. Kelly, take your outer hip back, right? That's perfecto. Bend the knee, come back up. That was so good, guys. That was really, really, really good. I guess we warmed up for that really good or something. It was good. Sunday morning balance. Or wait, Sunday afternoon. What? What time is it? Oh, that clock's wrong. I was like, guys, we went way past class, but we didn't change the clock we didn't change our time on our clocks at the studio. So go the other way. So right heel out to the right, left toes to the left, block in the left hand. When you lean back, you're getting that length in the side body. Bend the left knee, drag the back toes towards the front heel. Bend the knee. Good. Now, as you bend the knee, lean over the top of that left leg. Bring your hand down. Good. Back leg goes up. Point your back toes, guys. Point your back toes and bring the thigh bone on your leg back. That's beautiful, Kelly. You guys reach into your outer bottom buttock, lower buttock flesh, press back. Perfect. And bend the knee. Perfect. And come down. Excelente. Excelente. Now, I don't know of another way. To do it, so we can just do it. Actually, what I do know, we'll do the prep. This is not easy. So the prep for this is all about our back leg. So we'll go the same direction. We'll take the legs apart, left heel left, right toes to the right. I'll go up, I'll bend the knee, and as I'm coming down, I'll drag the toes and then push back. So watch, I'll drag forward, lift, go back. I'll drag forward, lift, go back. I'll drag forward, lift, go back. So that right knee staying bent. It's like, come forward, drag the toe, lift the leg, come back. So we're not staying there. We're repeating, and listen, guys, it's all about watch the back foot. Watch the back foot. So it's this action that I'm trying to get you guys to really focus on, is dragging the back toe towards the front foot and then lifting the leg. Even if it's not at the level that we wanted, lift the back leg as much as you can. Let's do that 4 times on the right side and 4 times on the left. So block in the right hand, right toes to the right, left heel to the left, arm goes up, exhale, bend over, drag the big toe. Press back, do it again. Good, drag the big toe. That's perfecto. That's great, Diana. Drag that back leg moves, great, 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 great. That's great. Drag the toe, drag the toe. You can use your hand on a chair, the sofa if you like, but the work is in what you're doing with the back leg. What you're doing with the back. Beautiful. Beautiful. That front knee can even stay bent. We're really just working through that back leg. Perfect. Perfect. And then switch sides. Once you've done that on your right side 4 times, go to your left. Oh, nice, guys. Really nice. Work that back foot. Drag the big toe up and then lift the leg. Bend the knee. Bring it back. Drag it up once more. Don't take your knee over your ankle, so stand right outside of the hip. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. I think, dragging the toe for me, I found a little more control. Kelly, that looks like a ballerina or something. I don't know. I saw a commercial with the ballerina. She was doing back pain medicine thing. Anyway, that's how she looked when she was doing. After she didn't have the back pain, that's how she looked. Okay, so if you guys are done, we'll go ahead and release. And then let's take 1 blanket or 2, actually, down onto the mat. And you're going to be center of your mat. So I'm going to do this. We're going to take a moment in Upavista. So I've got my blanket here, and I'm going to sit at the very edge. And again, this can be more than 1 blanket. And then I'll start with the legs out in front. And then one at a time, I'm going to separate and bring the right leg out to the right and the left leg out to the left. And I'll go as far as I can, which isn't very far today. And then I'm on this blanket. I'm going to take my hands to the blanket behind me and kind of draw the blanket up towards the lower back and just kind of scoot in so that the inner groin rotates down. And let's see where we get from here. So center your heels and really do like a floint where you're pressing out through the base of the big toe joint. Now look down. So the seams of your pants, guys, let's see if we can bring the inner seam of the pants down. Even if that means that your inner thigh flesh rolls down. That's it. Do this. Everyone bend 1 knee at a time and take the hand to the upper hamstring, lower buttock, rotate out. And also tuck in. Rotate out and tuck in. Good. Now, center your heels in floint, meaning press out. They're moving the base of the big toe joint out. And bring your knees down and bring your thighs down. Now bring your sacrum and your tailbone down so there's no space under your legs. One more time, some of you can take the hands once more to the blanket behind you and pull the blanket up towards the back of your head. And as the blanket's moving up, roll down, roll your inner thighs down. Good. Let's start by taking the arms up. And as your arms go up, bring that tailbone down, bring the sacrum down, and lift the arms, lift the arms. So you're separating the spine, lower spine down. Remember the J shape from the sacrum to the tailbone, and then the rest of the spine up. So shoulder blades up, arms up, legs down, guys. Legs go down, abdominal wall goes back, and then exhale, release. Good. Again, adjust the buttocks. So 1 hand, lower buttock, rotate out, and almost rotating from here to here, from here to here. You can bend your knees as you do that. Everyone comes center heels, rotate back a little more, Dan, and pull your blanket up behind you. And what I want you guys to do, take your hands in an L shape here, and then just kind of roll down. There you go. There you go. Bring the backs of your legs strongly against the mat. Take your fingers and interlace them right over left, arms out. Inhale, draw the belly back, draw the belly back. Bring the upper legs down, straighten the elbows, press the palms up, press up, press up. Move the side ribs up, press up. Squeeze the ears with the backs of your arms. Keep your chin parallel. Now separate your thumbs, turn your pinky sides of your hands back down towards the back of your head, and exhale, release. One more of that. Interlace the left over right. Stretch the arms out. Strong movement down of your legs. And then inhale, take your arms up. Good. Take your arms up. So the palms of your hands should reach to the ceiling. Spread your thumbs. Take your thumbs away from the rest of your fingers and try to lift your inner wrist up and bring the backs of your wrists down. Good, 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 good. And exhale, release. Perfect. Keep your legs here. And I don't know if this is going to work, but let's try. Let's take our arms out. Interlace right over left. Turn the palms out. Take the arms up. Bring the legs down. Twist to the right. Twist to the right. Good. Twist back to the center. Twist to the left. Move the outer right side to the left. Move the back of the arm to the left. Twist a little bit deeper. Press down through the right leg. Come back to the center. And exhale, release. Perfecto. Now we're going to move over to the right. So when you're moving to the right, guys, I want you to really ground the top of that left leg. Go ahead and use your left hand in front, right hand behind, and twist. Twist. Now, as you bring your navel lined up over your right thigh bone, come forward. You can use your left hand and let it slide down your right shin. Grab your foot. Really draw that upper leg bone down and in and fold. Nose to the knee. The heel is solid. Your heels are solid. Now, make your left leg longer. Go ahead and point your toes and make the left leg longer. Move some of the weight to the left. Tuck the outer right leg in, and then exhale, release. Come back to the center. So fingertips in front, one set in front, one set behind. Lift up, press down on that right leg, twist. Now, when you're twisting, don't lift your right hip, but really purposefully, really draw it down and twist. And then walk forward, come over the top of the left leg. I'm letting that right hand go down the left shin bone and find the heel. Reach, 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 reach into your right leg. So a lot of times we lose attention on the leg that we're moving away from. So make that right leg much longer. Can you point the toes? Make the right leg longer. Pull to the right and then fold to the left. That's great. And then perfect. Come back slowly to the center. And then from here, go ahead and bring the feet one at a time. Go behind your knees and let your outer feet roll out. So you get a nice external rotation, and then bring the feet in. And do this one at a time using your hands. And then grab at the lower shins, right at the upper ankles, and grab your straps. Hopefully you have them nearby. If you don't, it's no emergency. And then put the strap underneath your outer feet. And then just hold the strap really close to the feet and lift up. Lift up. Oh. Lift up. Bring your outer feet down. Bring your heels together. Draw up on your strap to lift your chest. Great. And then exhale to release. Very good, guys. You can remove your straps and you could take your legs and extend them out. Let's come into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So if you want to, and then maybe we'll do Ustrasana as well. But if you want to, you can have a strap around your upper legs. You can also use a blanket underneath the backs of your upper arms like this. Now here your head is grounded and your shoulders are what's against your blanket. And that's if you need it. If you need that extra height, it can be more than one blanket. What really helps me in this back bend is to have the legs tight. So that's the middle of the thighs. And we've even done it with the outer hips tight. So that strap can go up pretty high, even to here, right? And then your block goes on whatever level that you can bring it on underneath your sacrum. And I think for me, I'm going to go back to two. I've got one under my shoulders and one under my bottom blankets. And that's just because my back is sore and I don't want to pay for my overexcitement tonight. So if this is the same for you, that, you know, maybe it's a little bit much, you can make the block lower or replace your block altogether with a blanket or blankets. But if you can get that block to the tall level and then bring it right at the sacrum, and that's where we want to open the chest. And you do go back to, you really go back to that rolling of your upper arms down to your mat. So, or to that blanket or whatever you're using there. But that, you know, and think about this, guys. Let's see. Everyone, no matter where you are, do this. Turn the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms in kind of close to your outer body. And then without moving, see if you can wiggle your fingertips to touch your heels. So without moving, wiggle your fingertips down. And you see where, now watch, notice, don't move your feet back. But what happened in order for you to get your fingertips closer to your heels, you had to move the tops of your shoulders down away from your ears. And that's what happened when you try to bring your fingertips to your heels. The tops of your shoulders moved down. So did your shoulder blades. They moved down and in. So you can keep that going, and maybe you have to walk your feet in a little bit, but see if you can take the middle fingertip and touch the heels. Yeah, so that gives that work where the middle of the back, the thoracic comes in. Perfect. Okay, guys, go ahead and you can lift your bottom up, lift your hips, and bring your block down. And tuck your way down, one vertebra at a time. And then once you get down, again, there's no space between your back and the mat. So make you lengthen the flesh and you open the spine and ground the spine to the mat. And the backs of the upper arms as well. Have plenty of length in your low back, yeah. You can rest here for a moment. And you guys do this, grab the yoga mat with your hands, rotate your arms like this out, and then pull your mat towards your feet. And see if your back, you can kind of use the mat to draw the flesh down towards your heels. So the flesh on the back of your body. So using the mat does another thing. Helps you move the tops of your shoulders away from your ears. Now you can bring one knee into the chest at a time and wrap the arms around. Remember, we're not rolling the bottom up, but rather really resisting the sacrum and the outer hips down. So you keep that resistance. And take any movements here that you want to make, side to side or front to back. And then let your knees go over to the left and you guys twist to the right. And again, keep your breastbone lined up towards the ceiling. If you want to use that left hand to draw the right knee down, you can, but roll that hip down and also try to get your side rib to move away from your outer right hip. That's the catch. Again, it's always reminded me of the accordion. So the two sides are going in different directions, but it's stretching. So you have to have the hips go one direction and then the outer ribs go the opposite. And then bring the knees up and over to the right and twist to the left. And again, you may not have the flexibility to hold the knee down. If you do, make sure that the shoulder blades are moving away from one another and that your breastbone is lined up with the ceiling. Very good, guys. Perfecto. And then go ahead and bring yourselves back to the center, and you can pull your knees into the chest once more, roll around on the spine, any movements here, and then roll up, roll over to your right, come up for your inversion. So your inversion can be headstand, legs up the wall, legs in the chair, halasana, which is the plow pose. Use 2 blankets, take your legs over your head. If you are working on tightness in the low back and maybe tightness at the back of your upper legs, legs up the wall is a perfect inversion for that. If you would rather do headstand, please feel free. Use a blanket at the wall. For headstand, you interlace your fingers with your fingertips facing you. And when you do that, you cup the back of your head and you make sure your outer hands and outer wrists are grounded. A lot of Shirsasana is about lifting the tops of your shoulders up away from the mat and keeping your spine straight, your cervical spine. That's it, Aiden. Yeah, fingers face you. And then cup the back of your head and you feel your fingertips supporting your head. Yeah. And your thumbs are part of that. The elbows tuck in, the outer arms, elbows, outer hands go down. When you kick your leg up for Shirsasana, push your arms down, lift your shoulders, and take a straight leg up and over your head. Kelly, you can even put a blanket under your knees if you want. Yeah, you could put a blanket under your knees if you want, or you can just lie like you are. You could even put your legs on the sofa as an inversion. Lisa's doing a wall L, looks really good, Lisa. Grace is doing legs in the chair, looks really good. Kelly, same thing, legs are elevated. Wendy's in legs up the wall with a couple of blankets, and it looks absolutely wonderful. Joan is in Shirsasana, looks great. Aiden looks great, looks great, looks great. Those of you that were in headstand, You can come down when you're ready, but when you come down, stand on your feet and just forward fold to release your neck and your head. Now, legs up the wall or legs in the chair or sofa, stay there for a few more minutes. Good, 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 good. Just a few more moments. All right, guys. And those of you with your legs up the wall, you could take an exhalation of your breath, bend your knees. Maybe push away from the wall some and then roll over to the right and come up. And I've got 3 blankets, so I'm going to use 3. But let's go ahead and do Supta Padangusthasana. So I'm going to come down onto the mat, have 1 strap, and I think I'll use the 2 blankets instead. So for the 2 blankets, I'm going to fold them like we've been folding them in that little hot dog thing, fold like that. And that's going to be used as my block. So instead of the block, I'll be using the blankets. And then I'll recline. And for me, this isn't necessary, but if you guys need something underneath you for softening purposes, do that. So I've got that there, and I'll bring these blankets right out to the outer right hip. And I want to push to straighten that left knee. And when I bend this right knee up, watch what I want to do. I want to keep the length in the outer hip as I bring the knee up, like this, just like this. So that outer hip is drawing away from me. I'll bring the strap around the right foot, and I'll come up about halfway, push into the strap. And then very slowly, I'll straighten. And I'm being super careful because this is my sore side. So again, if you're babying an injury, if you're nursing an injury, then you can keep a slight bend in that right knee. But that leg, the right leg, does not move in towards your chest. It moves back. So it moves away from your chest so that that leg, your outer ankle, your outer knee, and your outer hip line up, one straight line. And you hold your strap with 2 hands and see if you can make the right buttock flesh just the same length as the left. And then go ahead and reach up to the towards the foot with your right hand and grab your strap close to your foot, right hand. Now take your right leg out to the right, and you're going to come right on top of those blankets with the top of your right leg. Good. So the right leg is going out to the right. Make the inner right leg long and tuck the outer right leg in. Begin to bend your right elbow. And I want you to not really don't move your leg so much, but with your hand pulled down on your strap and bend your right elbow. Bring the back of your right arm down. Keep your hand close to your foot. Walk your hand down towards your foot, Dan. Bend that elbow. So your foot, your toes kind of move more towards your shoulder. As you bend the elbow, you let your toes move shoulder and your hip move opposite. So you let your toes move shoulder and your foot moves opposite. Now I want you guys to move your navel to the left and bring the back of your left leg down, your left rib, left leg. Now take your left hand to your strap, or bring your right leg up, take your left hand to your strap, take your right leg over to the left. Now again, I want you to use the arm. So begin to bend the left elbow, draw the outer right hip down, and move your navel twist to the right. You can even look to the right, but keep that outer hip moving away, guys. Really roll it down. If you have to use your own hand. And some of you lift up and grab the strap closer to the foot. That's it. Now use the arm, use the hand, and use the bones in the right leg. Now bring this leg up, bring it back to the center. Lift your head and shoulders and pull your nose to your knee, right side. Straighten your knee, guys, straighten your knee. And then take your thigh bone away. Move your thigh bone back, away from your chest. And then release and switch sides. Good, 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 good. Good. Now, release your right leg and just let it rest there for a moment. I want you to notice the difference between the right leg and the left leg. Joan said the left leg is afraid now because it heard what the right leg just went through. So it's worried. But it should feel longer, more circulation, more sensation. Okay, now switch sides. So your blankets or whatever prop you were using to your outer hip moves over to your left. Your strap goes around your left heel. And remember, we started by bending the knee up, pressing into the strap to move the hip and thigh bone back, and then straighten the knee. Now use both hands to your belt so you can really pull down into your strap. And one thing that's really taught in Supta Padangusthasana is even though you're using both hands to your strap, you're still opening your chest. There's still a lifting of your chest here, meaning the backs of your upper arms are down or close to your mat. That's great. That's great. Now, as you draw down on the strap, push the foot up into the strap and really, really straighten the front of your left leg. Good, straighten it, bring the thigh bone to the back of the leg, and that outer left hip can move towards your inner right heel. And then go ahead and grab your strap with your left hand, turn your left toes left, left knee left, and take your left leg out. Go up and over your prop, your blanket or your block. Now, the catch is to move the belly button to the right and to ground the entire outer right side. I even like to kind of move my right leg to the right a little bit. Take that right leg a little wider and see if you can even get more space between the hip points. Good, good, good. Now, extend through your inner, extend through your inner left leg and then tuck your outer left leg in. Tuck your outer foot in, kind of draw back towards your right hip with your outer left hip. You still, even though you're externally rotating, your legs are going out, you're still compacting. You're still tucking your hips towards each other. Now bring your abdominal wall down. And now bring your leg up. Keep your abdominal wall down so that when you bring your leg up, your spine doesn't lift. So your left leg comes up, take your left leg to the right. You can switch the hand that's holding the strap. Now, the catch to this is how much are you using your right arm? Your right arm. Let your let your left leg follow your right arm. So don't worry about the leg. Just focus on the arm. Bend the elbow and begin to bring the elbow, the tip of your right elbow, down towards the mat strongly. There you go. Now, as you do that, move your thigh bone back to the back of your left leg and see if you can touch your inner right heel with your outer left hip. Good. Twist your navel, your belly button. Remember, it can move to the left as the leg's going to the right. Good. And then bring it back to the center, and you'll lift up and pull the nose to the knee. Keep the abdominals engaged. Good. Good, good, good. And then exhale, release. Very good, guys. Stay where you are. But what we're going to do is you won't need your blankets so much, but we will keep our straps. I've got both of my knees bent, and I want you guys to grip the outer edges of your mat, lengthen the sacrum. So lift the bottom and tuck the sacrum and the tailbone, and then reground. Now you'll bend your right knee up to your chest. Your left foot is on your mat. And let's take this right leg up. Take the right leg up. Now I want you to pull the right leg in and lift your head and shoulders, nose to your right knee. Really move that thigh bone back, right femur bone back. Engage your core and lift your shoulder blades up. Now keep your head and shoulders lifted. Extend your left leg. Let your left heel float over the mat. Keep the left heel up. The left leg is straight. The right leg is nose to the knee, guys. So your head and your shoulders are lifted away from your yoga mat. Your left heel is lifted. Now bend the elbows out wide. Pull the leg in. Engage your left leg. Bring your left heel down. Bring your head and shoulders down. Bend both knees. Bring both feet to the mat. Now, keep your knees bent. You've got that right foot on the mat, and you're pressing down with that right foot. And bring your strap around your left foot. And then extend your left leg up. And the work is getting this left thigh bone to move towards the back of your left leg and feeling that you've got space in the left buttock. Now, keep your right knee bent, push down with your right foot, engage your left leg, lift up, pull your nose to your knee, pull that femur bone away, and then extend your right leg, and you're really engaging your core. So if you can get your shoulder blades up away from the mat, bring the thigh bones back towards the back of your leg. Make your right leg stronger, stronger. Point your toes. You can rotate your toes in some, lift a little bit higher, lift a little bit higher, thigh bone back. Now bring your right heel down strongly down to the mat. Lower the head, lower the shoulders, bend the knees, release. Perfect. You can bring your inner knees to touch, your feet out a little bit wide. Bring your knees, feet up, knees together. Go to the left with your knees and twist your spine, twist to the right. Take your time here, but make sure that that left shoulder blade moves out to the left. And then you're really lifting that right side rib cage up away. So that side rib really moves towards your right armpit. And then go back to the opposite direction. So you can bring the knees center and then let them fall over to the right. Control this, look to the left, and again, shoulder blades move away. And as you're there, you can you can bring your right hand to your left knee or not. But the work is to line the breastbone up, rotate that left hip far down towards your heel. And then let's come back to the center just for a moment. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your outer feet rest on your mat. And if you need blocks, they would go outside of the knees, like under the outer knees or outside of the lateral buttock. If you don't need blocks, see if you can feel the muscles that are around the sacrum spreading. Your hip points, that space between your hip points should be spread but evenly. Your sitting bones are moving towards your front of your pelvis. Now bring your abdominal wall down. Let's take our arms up and over and pull your abdominal wall down and lengthen your low back. Exhale, release the arms, bring the knees together. Hold the knees together and the feet grounded. And then next exhalation, you can come up and prepare for Shavasana. So if you want legs up the wall would be good, or just lying flat on your mat, you can tie your feet with a strap. You can cover yourself with a blanket. You can use your blankets under your spine or underneath the backs of your knees. Your legs can go along the chair seat or the seat of your sofa. But any way that you would like to take Shavasana, make sure that you get there and that you're comfortable. And once you get there, take your arms out, palms of your hands towards the ceiling, thumbs. The thumb sides of your hands actually rotate down towards the floor. Relax the breath, relax the thoughts, allow every muscle and every bone in your body to become very heavy. Let your abdominal area relax. The organs do move towards the mat, but that includes the brain and the heart. Exhale the breath, draw the senses inward, and let go. Just allow the entire body to become very heavy. begin to deepen your breath and very slowly move your awareness back into the room. Small movements when you're ready in the fingers and in the toes. And you can bend the elbows and bring your hands to your belly or to your heart. Stretch the arms up and over your head. Bring the abdominal wall towards the mat. Lengthen the back of the body as you reach out over the head. Exhale, release the arms to the side body. Just let them rest there for a moment. And then very slowly you can bend your knees again. Drag the heel towards the bottom. You can lift the bottom and tuck the sacrum and the tailbone here. And then as you exhale the breath, pull the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees in any movement, side to side or front to back. And then with an exhalation, roll over to the right. Hold there in a fetal position. And then bring yourselves up seated, any seated position you would like. And your hands can come heart center, maybe thumbs to the third eye or hands just resting at the legs. Take a moment in silence, honoring the true self. Twists, turns, coils in nature do give power and strength at the nano level, at the micro level, and even at the macro level, as so does twisting in asana. Thank you guys very, very much for being here. Namaste.